Hello and welcome to a broadcast produced by Friends of Terry Virgil. I am Terry Virgil, and yes, I will approve everything that I've said here in this program. And if you disagree, in reality, this is what I like to see. This goes on my Facebook page. In reality, I'd like to see people's opinions. It helps immensely to know exactly how people feel and which direction they're going. If they are a liberal, Democrat, communist, or socialist, it doesn't matter. If you are a true conservative, please, feel free to let me know on my Facebook page. Don't just say you like it. Give a comment, please. I'd like to hear what the people are saying, because I could use this here, believe it or not, in a political campaign. This very item is exactly what is the most evil, most despicative item that's an issue. It really is an issue, and it's one issue that was given to people, and they were sucker punched by the liberal, Democrat, and the communist government in the United States of America. I wrote a little bit about it yesterday on my Facebook page. And in all reality, I'm not going to back down from that. Today's program is entitled Common Core Standards. And why am I tackling it now? Well, today is the election day in the great state of Wisconsin. You could vote for either a statewide judge, you could vote for your school boards or whatever your town was doing, you could vote for some of your local offices, plus presidential candidate hopefuls that are in the primary, those that are trying to become the president of the United States of America, whether it's a liberal Democrat slash communist slash socialist Bernie Sanders, or whether it's a liberal slash Democrat communist Hillary Clinton slash socialist, or someone from the Republican Party, whether it's Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, or Governor Kasich from Ohio. You could vote either way in the great state of Wisconsin. Show your ID, though. The Democrats hate that idea, and here's why. They always have this saying, vote early, vote often. And if it need be, they'll take you to the ballot box twice. That's really Hillary Clinton's motto, and Bernie Sanders. But let's go to something else here, too. Let's talk about Common Core Standards. Let's talk about Common Core Standards in a pretty unique way. Number one, I think in all reality, the Democrats did a real neat bait and switch sales pitch here, along with the liberals. They loved the idea of Common Core Standards because here's one thing. They could teach and have it taught what the government wants to teach. Sounds good. It sounds like a very good idea, but Adolf Hitler did it in 1929 to 1945 in Germany. Matter of fact, Joseph Stalin did it in the Soviet Union from the time that he was the president of the Communist Party in the Soviet Union. In China, it's done today. North Korea, it's done today. If you notice, it's done in every communist nation. It's also done in socialist nations. I think the socialists took on the idea of saying, okay, Common Core Standards sounds pretty good. We could teach it from government point of view. That means if we don't like something, we could take it out and say it can't be done. Here's another thing that's kind of interesting about Common Core Standards, and Hillary Clinton likes this idea, so does Bernie Sanders. Well, if you're going to run as a Democrat slash liberal, you're going to run as a communist as well, because you're going to agree with the communist idea of Common Core standards, and you're going to also want to include something that really takes away from teaching in the United States of America in the public school system. I'm going to hit the public school system here pretty hard and pretty heavily. And I guarantee it, they haven't seen, the war isn't over with in this area. In the Common Core system, in the public school systems in the whole United States of America, it might not be in your state, I don't know. But did you know that every child in the public school system, every teacher, every administrator has got to take a loyalty oath to an occult group called the Islamic State of Muslims, ISIS? You have to take an oath to ISIS. Very interesting. Hillary Clinton likes that idea that you have to take a loyalty oath to ISIS. The UN actually backs up this idea in their idea of Agenda 21 plus in the Sustainable Development Agenda. It states in there that you have to take a loyalty oath to ISIS. Well, they call it the Islamic Muslim State, but in reality, you have to take a loyalty oath to the terrorist. Isn't that interesting? And it is very interesting, and yes, I plan on putting this in my other radio blog, too, so there's not going to be any danger in it. This is kind of the reason why I am stating this much. I would love to see people's comments to what I wrote, people's voicing their opinions to what I'm saying now. Because here's why. Yesterday, April 5th, 2016, there will be fellow Wisconsinites going to the ballot box and voting. I am hoping for a huge turnout, just like everybody else, the Democrats and the Republicans. And if you notice, I'm not a Democrat and Republican. I am what we would call the first political and the only political party that stands up for liberty and freedom. And I'm saying it right. We are the first and the only that stand up for liberty and freedom. We are the ones that will stand up against Common Core standard practices. Yes, it's going to have to go at a cost, and the government has made threats in that area. I've seen some threats given to me for speaking against Common Core standards. I've actually had teacher union leaders tell me that I do not belong in the great state of Wisconsin because I stand up against them. I've had threats of different types of things made, and has that stopped me from speaking against the Common Core standard and the teachers union? No. I will not back down. I will not back down from liberty and freedom. I wrote in my book, Freedom and Liberty, that came out on Easter Sunday of this year, about Common Core standards and how Common Core standard takes away from your freedom and liberty as a child. Here's the thing that you got to understand, and understand it very well when it comes to Common Core standards. Number one is that you got to take a loyalty oath to the occult group known as the Islamic State of ISIS, and or the Taliban, and or Al-Qaeda. You got to take that loyalty oath if you're a student. If you're a parent of that child, you still got to take that loyalty oath. If not, that child will be taken away from you. That's in the Common Core Standards. It's right there in black and white. And I'm reading right from it as well. I can read those sources. Type in Google Common Core Standards. Easy. Go to any one of those and you could read it for yourselves. I did a little bit farther, though I went a little bit deeper. I was listening to the feminist, liberal, Democrat / communist party hopeful to be the nominee for president of the United States of America. And she said one thing that burns up the mind. Sounds good, but when it sounds good, doesn't mean it is good. She said that every child will be and must be put in preschool. That is not a choice. It's a mandate. It's a demand. It's mandatory. It's force. Why doesn't someone put a stupid, funny mustache on that lady, dye her hair black, and call her name Adolf and her last name Hitler? That makes common sense. Or here's another thing too. You could even rename Hillary Clinton by calling her Joseph Stalin. Or how about this one for her name? This is a good name for Hillary Clinton. You could rename her and call her Mao Zedong. I got even a better name we could call her. How about Fidel Castro? Raul Castro. How about this name for her? Ho Chi Minh. How about this name for Hillary Clinton? We could call her Kim Jong-un. All those names sound pretty good, doesn't it? Here's another name we could call her. Hoffa. Yes, I just named off every communist in the world. Or that used to be in history. I just named off all these people and told her and gave her real name in disguise. Let's rename Bernie Sanders. Mao Zedong, Kim Jong-un, Adolf Hitler. Let's call him Fidel Castro, Raul Castro. Let's go even farther. Kim Jong-un, Ho Chi Minh. You notice all these names are all communist names or socialist names? Let's name another one too. Let's name President Fox or former president of Mexico. How about the president of Venezuela? Let's call these idiots these things, because they're no more and no different than those idiots in the world. And if you noticed, that Common Core Standard means that government control. Here's the other thing that's really frightening. And if you happen to have a child that you homeschool and you love that child, you too have to take that loyalty oath to the occult group called the Islamic State of Muslim / ISIS / Al-Qaeda / the Taliban. I'm not kidding, people. By the end of this year, you're going to have to do that. That is what I'm saying it'll happen. Let's take another look at something else here too. When you have to take a look at the Common Core Standards and you're homeschooling, everything's going to be government controlled. No matter what. Your bookwork, your material, your testing of your child. Okay, let's take it a step further. By the end of the year 2016, maybe 2017, that the Common Core standard is going to have to be enforced in all